So we have a former high school teacher here who's going to say what we already know. I've said it many a times, but sometimes you have to repeat something over and over again before people really understand. And this young lady is a former educator, so hopefully she can tell you something, and y'all will believe her. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. When you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Let's hit it.
I am no longer a teacher, thank God. I can finally say the things that have been on my mind all school year. Okay. As somebody that taught high school and basically educating our new young adults, we should all be scared.
Man, she look like she just out of high school herself.
Every last one of us should be scared. These kids cannot read, they cannot write. There is no type of comprehension skills, no type of critical thinking. They cannot do anything on their own. They expect everything to be taught to them. Well, I won't even say taught. They expect everything to be given to them. So in my class, we did this thing where I made them write once a week. So they would have some type of assignment where they would have to write at least a paragraph, meaning 5 sentences. 5 sentences.
Yep.
The amount of assignments that I got in with 1 sentence, 2 sentences, the amount of complaints I got where with the whole 5 sentences, that's too much. That's too much. Can we do three? Can we do three? Isn't three considered a paragraph?
I remember growing up in elementary, and we were taught what a paragraph entailed. What it say? A subject, a predicate, and is that right? Subject, another sentence. Subject, predicate, and it concludes a intro, the body, and like no, that's like a story or whatever, a summary. But anyway, yeah, like a subject and a predicate. You had to have an intro sentence, a body, and a concluding sentence, right? To make the paragraph, and the paragraph, the sentence had to match in order to make the paragraph make sense. Okay, so I mean, hell, it's been 40, 30, 40 years since I learned that. So forgive me if I'm off a little bit, but I do remember again in elementary school, and teachers would say, a paragraph can technically be 3 sentences, but they want us to write five 5 sentences because they want at least 3 sentences in the body of that paragraph. And I'm talking elementary. She's talking about high school kids who can't even write more than 1 sentence to make a paragraph, which means that they were not taught anything in the first 8 grades in English, where you had in English. And didn't they have or English lit? Taught nothing on how to write paragraphs. Is that not concerning? But the whole No Child Left Behind era, which seems like it continues now. The whole we're going to teach the kids this standardized test so they can pass this test so we can get funding and not educate them how they need to be, not having them read books. So I remember, like I said, elementary having to write essays and book reports, and you got like you had to first do what was it on note cards. You had an outline. You put your ideas and stuff on note cards, and then you put them in order. Then you had to go ahead and write the paper with those notes, and then you turn that paper in. The teacher will grade it, critique it, get a red marker or a red pen, red pencil, and turn and like they say, and turn your paper bloody, as they would say, with all the corrections that need to be made. This should hand it back to you. Now it's time for you to rewrite it. And you like, dang, I'm gonna try to write this as perfect as possible because I don't feel like rewriting this again. And then you go back and you rewrite it with the corrections that she had marked, with the errors, no, correcting the errors that she marked. And then she corrects it again, checks it again, grades it, and then hands it back to you and said, okay, now you got to fix this part. And then when you get done, then when you fix it, she gets the paper back. He or she looks at it. And if it's good enough, to say, great. Now go ahead and write this nice and neat, or you can type it or what have you and turn it in. And when you turn it in, you got to turn in your note cards, your 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 rough drafts, your final draft, and your bibliography page. This is elementary. But she's saying kids can't even write more than one sentence and complaining, and got the nerve to say, isn't a paragraph 3 sentences? They probably didn't even know what a paragraph entails, but they want to do as least as possible. Just do just enough to get by. And like she said, we should be worried. We should be worried. Now I'm looking at her shirt. Does she work at Walgreens now? So I guess she's saying that she's not a teacher no longer. So I guess she finished this past year and then quit or what have you. And now she's working at Walgreens. What did that say? Co-worker, support co-workers. It's backwards, so I can't see what that is. But whatever it is, she works somewhere. Like she might be a pharmacist or something at Walgreens. Let's continue.
Oh, baby. We are in for a wild ride, y'all. Every assignment that I gave them, I kid y'all not, every assignment that I gave them, there was several students that came to my desk and asked me to walk them through the entire assignment, the full, whole thing. But
And what's sad about it is these kids are teenagers, and they say by the time the kids get 12 or 13 years old, they are stuck in their ways, or they are who they're going to be unless something crazy or dramatic happen in their life. So this is them. This is what they've been. This is what they have or have not been taught. And I can go back again. I remember when my children were in school and they had to write a paper and they would have me grade and critique it, and I'm reading. It's like, what is this mess? This is a paper? They're like, yeah, daddy. I just need you to look at it. And so when I would look at it, I would do a whole lot of editing, punctuation, sentence structure, stuff is out of sentence out of order, the wrong words, what I'm saying, this, that, and the third. They used to hate when I would grade their paper to the point of where they stopped showing it to me. But I had already put that seed in their head to where they knew what things supposed to know what a paper's supposed to look like. Because hell, I had them read all the time too. So they understood what things were supposed to look like. And I made sure to stay on top of their grades, and they had to make A's and B's and had to understand. They knew if they come and ask me a question, especially if you're gonna come ask me about a word, what a word means, and there's a dictionary sitting back there where you at, okay, I'm gonna need you to look it up. You know what I'm saying? They'd be like, never mind. I said, no, no, no. Matter of fact, I need you to look it up, write the word down, write the definition, bring it to me, and read it to me. You got 10 minutes. And I know they hated me for it, but again, now, especially my oldest daughter, now that she's older and got a career and stuff, she had told me how she appreciates that because that's how she researches things now. Because I always told my kid, don't act like you smartest thing in the world and dumb as a doorknob. Make sure you do your research and make sure you come correct with whatever you do and know what you're talking about. And you can't have too many and don't have any flaws in your presentation, whether it's verbally or whether it's on paper. Let the world know that you know what you're talking about and let them and make them respect you like that. But anyway, that's going on a tangent.
genuinely, the truth of the matter is everybody is failing these kids.
Mhm.
Everybody. The school board with all these different rules, they're failing these kids. The principals or admin altogether, they're failing these kids, and they're failing the teachers because they're basically telling us that we had to just pass a child along just to keep these graduation numbers up.
Damn. Oh, don't forget the parents are failing these kids. A lot of them because they're not reading with their children and not standing over them doing their homework, not making sure they're not beating them over the head when they're trying to get these math problems right. Right. They're not doing that. They just send them to school, come home. How was school? It was great. Okay, bye. Go in your room, come back. How was school? It was great. Bye. Boom. And so then then the report cards come out and they're not doing a good job. You wonder what the problem is. You wonder what the problem is. But like she said, They're just passing these kids along. What does the statistics say? That is it 17 to 21% of kids are efficient or proficient in their at their grade level, and that's including graduating high school seniors. And remember, I had this one girl who tried to sue the high school or school district she came from because she was I think she was dyslexic or something was wrong with her. She got A's, honor roll, got into college, was going to school, then started like struggling in college, and she blamed the school system because they passed her with flying colors. Yeah, that's a true story.
So everybody, like everybody. Oh, and don't get me started on the parents. Like I would call and say, "Hey, your child is failing," and the first thing is, "Well, why didn't I know about this?" Probably because you didn't answer the phone. Probably because you didn't get or you didn't respond to my emails. On top of that, you have 24-hour access to Power School.
Exactly.
When I tell y'all it is horrible, like the parents that are here now are not the parents that we had growing up.
Mm.
My parents checked my Power School weekly. Weekly.
Oh, she is young because we didn't have power school when I was growing up. We just had a power belt, power paddle, power switch. Get your power turned off to your video games if you didn't pass your classes.
And still to this day, my brother just graduated high school a few weeks ago, and still to this day, his grades were checked. Everybody's grades were checked. So unfortunately, it's not these kids' faults. I mean, yeah, they're lazy, but like, what are you supposed to do when all you got to do is tell your mama, well, she failing me,
Hmm.
and
Or they haven't updated the grades yet. Heard that a lot.
the school board is going to accommodate that parent? Like, it's crazy, y'all. We should be very scared for our new nurses, our new doctors, our new everybody. These colleges are going to have to start lowering their requirements. They're going to have to start lowering the fact or just lowering everything, because the way that stuff is going now, the amount of kids that are going to come into these schools and they cannot read, they cannot write, they cannot do anything without AI.
Mm.
We should be scared. We should really be scared. Have a great day. Now that I
And the sad thing is, I remember being a child and having children, and you would not send your kids to school. It was embarrassing. You did not want to be embarrassed sending your kids to school the first day of school and they can't write their own names and they don't know colors and they can't count to 10 and they can't at least recite the ABCs. That was like a mandate for children back in the day. I don't know what it is now. And but it seems like they don't do that for kids nowadays. And like I said, the sad part about it is kids love to learn. That's how they were created, to learn. And if you do not feed that hunger to learn, you are doing a disservice to your children. Period, point blank. You should be teaching your kids a whole lot more, a whole lot sooner before they get to a schoolhouse. Because if not, again, you are doing a major disservice to that child. They deserve the very best. They deserve every opportunity they can get to excel in the world. Don't send your kids to this school, like I said, and don't know how to spell their own name, can't tie their own shoe, and can't pee standing up. Well, for boys, and pee on the seat, sitting down for girls. Um, don't do that, because when they get to high school and hollering, you're gonna be the one talking about, my child been to school for 4 years and he only got 2 credits. And I didn't know. I thought we was getting ready for graduation and the party and stuff, and found out he wasn't gonna graduate. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below. Share it with the world. Let's have an intelligent conversation. You know how we do around here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those 4 things cost you maybe a couple of minutes out your day, but it means the world to us here at this channel. And with that being said, I leave you in peace and love, and I'll see you on the other side.